Oh boy, this is just depressing. This is a tweet from Matt Walsh that went out 2 days ago with 13,000 likes as of 2 days ago that reads as follows. Today we launched our kids platform, which is already stocked with over 100 episodes of great family entertainment. This is why I'm proud to work at the Daily Wire. We catch a lot of flack from both the left and the right. And the right? Okay. Everyone has their nitpicks and their complaints, but this company actually has a vision. We are trying to build something. Instead of complaining about the culture, we are actively trying to change it and shape it, and taking the considerable risk that those efforts require. The critics will continue to chirp, and we will continue doing what none of them have the skill or wherewithal to do. There's nowhere else in the media I'd want to work. And it's not even a close call, to be honest. I like how they frame having an insane amount of money and resources as, like, skill and talent. Like they just have money. Like, I get the comments as well. Like, I literally, just put out a video on, Brett Cooper, and one of the top comments, well, not top comments, one of the top hate comments I got was, like, something along the lines of, you know, it'd be repeats of the same comment. This would be like the top thing I'd get would be, and yet she has so many more subs than you. Must say something, right? It's like, no. No, believe it or not. I'd usually be sarcastic here and, like, do, like, a, you know, disaffected, like, yeah, having more subs really means you're correct. But I'm going to be completely sincere here. No. Having more subscribers and more money and working with a massive, like, conservative media organization with lots of money does not automatically mean you're correct. More subs does not equal more correct. That will never be the case. Even when I have more subs, it won't mean that I'm correct. My arguments and the evidence I use to make said arguments will be what will make me correct or not. But you have to understand that the people that watch this kind of stuff, one of their primary objectives and goals is to be just on the winning side of the culture war. So when you're making an argument to them, you almost have to argue first and foremost that your side of the culture war can actually win and cares about winning, while also making compelling arguments for why they should believe what you believe as well. Because the winning thing is just sort of like the foundation of what they've been taught matters through conservative media punditry. Anyway, and by the way, the kids' content is actually great. My kids will love it, and so will yours. Now, if you're wondering what examples of said kids' content that the Daily Wire is rolling out, then brace yourself. I don't know if you guys know about Disney's upcoming Snow White movie. Apparently, it's not going to be Snow White and the Seven Dwarves or whatever, because dwarves is seen as, like, offensive. That's actually real, it turns out, which I do think is pretty cringe. Like, that is actually kind of woke bullshit, unironically. And also, Snow White's not going to be white, which is what really set off the right. Really set them off. So in response to that, the Daily Wire is making a live-action Snow White movie starring conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper as Snow White. Watch the teaser. Oh, we can listen to this article. Please don't be an AI voice. Let's see how this sounds.
Conservative media company Daily Wire is making its own live-action adaptation of the Brothers Grimm fairy tale, Snow White, called Snow White and the Evil Queen. The film, which is set to release in 2024, will be the first feature-length production for the company's kids' entertainment platform called Bentkey, and will star conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper, host of the platform's Show the Comments section.
So for those that haven't noticed, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Andrew Clavin, all the rest of the goons at the Daily Wire have had a demonstrable statistical decrease as of late in their channel performance. We can't really see it because this data is private, but I have I have a feeling that, and no doubt, that there is a pretty similar effect happening to the subscriptions for Daily Wire's services involving them across the board as well, behind the scenes. The only person who hasn't been affected by this is Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper is right now the Daily Wire's shining star. She has surpassed all of the previous hosts despite only existing on the platform for a couple years now. She was, of course, massively astroturfed, with the Daily Wire spending millions on ads to run on all of YouTube to get people to discover her content. However, that doesn't take away from the fact that she is the fastest growing and largest, as we speak, conservative pundit at the Daily Wire. So it's not surprising that they're trying to make her into a movie star as well. The funny thing is, all of the Daily Wire people are failed actors. Like, all these hosts, besides maybe Ben Shapiro, are failed actors. For example, we went over Michael Knowles, another Daily Wire stooge's old college, like, home movie, where he had, like, a gay sex scene. Like, a pretty explicit-ish gay sex scene. And it's very, very, very funny. This is going to be Spider-Man Lotus, but Snow White? Yeah, pretty much. This is not going to take off at all. This is not even the first time that the Daily Wire has made a failed movie project. As a matter of fact, Daily Wire Gina Carano. Gina Carano's new Ben Shapiro-produced movie is somehow still too woke for some right-wingers. One of the biggest box office failures of 2022 was Terror on the Prairie, the Ben Shapiro-produced Western starring Gina Carano. It marked Carano's first major role since being fired from The Mandalorian over a series of social media posts that many viewed as anti-Semitic. The film only grossed $804 during its one-day theatrical run, despite any star power that the actress might have had on the political right. Or just generally, like, she was also a professional, like, fighter, and also in The Mandalorian. You would think that, like, she really fell off. She got actually canceled. The film was intended to be part of the Daily Wire's stated strategy of making films that entertain audiences without what they see as overt messaging, but without being explicitly conservative either. We're making entertainment first content, challenging content, adult content, Daily Wire co-founder and CEO Jeremy Boring said of the company's film strategy in a recent interview with IndieWire. The two things that will distinguish a Daily Wire film is the fact that it broadly speaks to values that conservatives are aligned on, not strictly conservative values. We're not making Hillary's hard drive story, and we're not making ragtag football players find Jesus in the third act. So basically what they're trying to do is make movies that appeal to that subtly conservative fantasy that many Americans have, and to try to get them on board to the Daily Wire branding from there. Their last attempt at this with a star like Gina Carano fell flat. So now they're bringing in a famous YouTuber that they built the career of via massive amounts of financial astroturfing, to try to do the same thing she did, but with a known property like Snow White. Let's see if we just have a complete repeat of history or not.
The Daily Wire today revealed a teaser for the movie, which opens with a melody voiced by Cooper and written by Jeremy Boring and a pan through a forest to reveal Cooper as Snow White. Announcing the project to staff today, the Daily Wire's Boring said, "It's a story about a princess and a prince, about beauty and vanity, about love and its power to raise us from death to life. It's our own adaptation of an ancient fairy tale. I was raised on the original Grimm's fairy tales, so I'm
How do you think they're literally just going to be completely faithful about it and, like, learn from last time and just do a completely faithful to the story thing and just try to see if they can have their like, if they're smart, what they'll do is they will literally just make, like, try their best to just make good movies. If they're smart, just do their best to try to be an indie studio, essentially, that pops off, like A24 or whatever, where they were like an indie studio that's now making like AAA budget movies or whatever. Like, if they were smart, that's the way they'd go about it, because that could potentially result in some really bad outcomes for the left. If they manage to create an unironically successful mainstream media company, essentially, that had very subtle conservative hints to it, and was run by conservatives. That's something the left wouldn't be able to contend with.
thrilled that we're bringing this iconic story to life for the next generation."
If there's any actual conservative arguments to parse and argue against in the propaganda, then the left can contend with it. If it's just famous, popular, successful conservatives farming money off of something that's relatively apolitical and broadly appealing and using that money to support conservative causes, the left can't really argue against that. For example, Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, has donated tens of thousands of dollars to Donald Trump's presidential campaign, as well as several other conservative campaigns as they were pushing to ban gay rights. And in some cases, politicians that were actively pushing to ban gay marriage. Despite that, despite it like being known that the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's funnels the funds from the franchise into conservative causes and politicians actively fighting to take away LGBT rights, most Five Nights at Freddy's fans defend this and will attack you if you criticize this, because they say it should be seen as completely separate. And you shouldn't be able to criticize him for his politics, is what they say. So if there is no actual political messaging in the media itself that can be parsed, then people will defend even the funds going to politicians that are fighting against gay rights. Look at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A does it perfectly. Chick-fil-A is uncancelable. Chick-fil-A literally funds gay conversion therapy, gay conversion therapy torture. And yet, Gen Z still eats the fuck out of Chick-fil-A. I know gay people and trans people who eat the fuck out of Chick-fil-A because their service is immaculate. Their food is immaculate. Everything about what the customer experiences from Chick-fil-A is immaculate. The money just goes to anti-gay causes. I didn't even know you eat Chick-fil-A, Cherry. I was thinking of other gays. Chick-fil-A has figured out hurting gay people with mainstream support. You don't make anything about your branding conservative. You just make sure the money goes to conservative causes. That's the most successful way for these people to do it. I'm kind of giving the game away here, but I mean, it's not really a secret, and it's not like these people watch my content and are actually going to be able to act on this. But yeah.
Said Cooper. Snow White is such a beautiful character, and I'm honored to be playing her. Like all the best fairy tales, this is a story with timeless values, like love, friendship, and kindness, and I can't wait to share them. Actress turned conservative commentator and YouTuber Cooper Heathers is all.
They're all failed actors. I didn't even know. I didn't know she was too. They're all failed actors. Can we get the clip? Can someone link me the clip of Michael Knowles' old failed acting career? I think Matt Walsh at least had a history in radio and was doing the diaper fights. They're all failed actors and degenerate, disgraced ex radio guys, and Ben Shapiro's the only one who's had a somewhat square past of the group of them. They're all just degenerate grifters who stumbled into success.
Also starring in the company's fantasy series, The Pendragon Cycle. Boring took a swipe today at Disney's upcoming Snow White movie starring Rachel Zegler. Without providing specific evidence, Boring claimed the House of Mouse's film will.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Ben was a failed writer. True, they all had different careers outside of political punditry in the conservative sphere. This is what they fell into. That's crazy. Yeah, they're literally all so evidently grifters that just found what made them money. Owen Benjamin is another example. Failed comedian. Dave Rubin too. Yep. Yeah, actually, really good point, Swegta.
Will expose children to the popular but destructive lies of the current moment. While Disney still uses Walt's name, they have all but abandoned his legacy, he claimed. It's taken 100 years to build Disney. We know we aren't what they are today.
Wasn't Walt Disney, pretty racist and anti-Semitic? Yeah, good.
But we hope in time we might become what they were once upon a time. A little studio with big ideas and the courage to chase them.
They want to become the next Disney.
The Daily Wire says Ben Key will be available at launch with 150 episodes of 18 shows, including 4 Ben Key originals. New episodes are due to arrive every Saturday morning.
Oh boy. Are you ready to see this horrific trailer, guys? I've not seen this yet. Not that I've had any temptation to watch it prior to seeing it for the first time on stream. Oh, good God. Are you ready for the Daily Wire's next mainstream media failure? It's about a minute long. I'm ready for the cringe. We're going to hear Brett Cooper sing. All right, take a deep breath. Let's go.
Once upon a time.
Chat. gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait for the chat to do its thing. I'm surprised at how few of you are spamming about feet. I'm proud of you, chat. I've actually excised a lot of the foot fetishists, it seems. That makes me pretty happy. Yeah, you can hear the auto-tune. I didn't even pick up on that until a second ago. Yeah, listen to auto-tune, dude.
Once upon a time.
I could hear like the switching between like the
Time a prince would come. Once upon a time, but now
These are actually decent nature shots, at least.
that time is gone.
Okay, as good as the nature shots are, the cinematography's garbage. Compared to like tons of other media I've seen, the cinematography is garbage. This is a terrible shot. This is a good shot. This isn't bad. This is actually a pretty good shot to capture. It's a squirrel drinking, nothing like too crazy. But the elk, or these deer, they could be, I think they're elk. The elk, on the other hand, like, there's an elk right here. Like, you get such a better shot. There's, like, it's looking at the camera, this one. This one's also looking at the camera because they see you, and this is how deer and elk react when they see you. So, like, the animals notice the camera, which kind of, like, takes you out of it once you notice that they're literally looking at the camera and the cameraman who's recording them. There's a branch in the way of this one. Like, if you shift a little bit and turn the camera to the right, you get a view of all the deer, and you get a view of the sun coming in through the trees. So, like, they have high-quality equipment and the ability to find good locations and good nature shots, but none of the skill or heart that goes into a traditional production that would make it feel right, you know? It just doesn't feel right. Is Ben going to be one of the dwarves? Thank you. Very good.
But now that time is gone.
Has her face been altered with AI? Why does it look weird? Why does it look like her face doesn't... It's like morphing in a weird way with her movement. Is that just the Twitter video, or is that just me? Did they, like, touch up her face with AI? Maybe not. Maybe it's just her face moving. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's slowed down. Maybe it's slow-mo, and that's why. No, it's not slow-mo. No, there's fuckery happening, dog. There's fuckery. That's fuckery. That's gotta be fuckery. Pixels don't do that for no reason. There's fuckery. Hyper's in chat if you also smell fuckery. Wow. And this is their children's media company. Isn't it crazy how, like, conservative media people, pretty much all the Daily Wire people, were like, they're trying to brainwash your kids. They made a political right-wing media outlet to brainwash kids. Because apparently brainwashing kids with politics is bad, but not when they do it. The truth is, everybody thinks that younger generations should fall in line with, like, what they believe is best. And, like, that's just kind of how it's always been. And they try to take that as, like, a bad thing when everybody typically thinks that way. If they have what they believe are good positions, they think that younger generations should hopefully think close to the same way, at least. Ugh, what a cringe fest.